Welcome back to our channel, San Luis Obispo Real Estate. This is Jay Bond Real Estate Group, brokered by eXp Realty. If you're tuning in for a video, how to sell your San Luis Obispo County home for top dollar in today's market, you're tuning into the right location. Now, if you have been thinking about selling your San Luis Obispo home, sellers right now are making 2 to 3 avoidable mistakes that could potentially leave dollars on the table for them during their sale. Now, when selling your home in San Luis Obispo County, the first thing you want to focus on is pricing strategy, right? This is hypercritical to this process. Now, again, buyers are a lot less urgent than they were a few years ago to buy. So if you price your home around what similar homes are selling for, right, around what comparable properties are selling for, or higher, there's a good chance that you're going to sit and accumulate more days on market. Now, if you're sitting priced a little high, what typically happens after a few weeks and months? Right? You likely will want to do price reductions, right? Now, that's not a great thing. That's not what we set out to do in this business, is do price corrections and chase down the market. Now, a healthy pricing strategy is pricing around where similar homes are selling for, or potentially slightly under that range. Now, why would we do that? Well, one is to get attention, right? If you have a few homes in a neighborhood for sale, who do you think is going to get the most showing requests, right? Activity from buyers and potentially offers. Probably the one that's priced most attractively, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to sell for less. If you're intended to get more, the market will produce more, right? Buyers are the market. We are really dictated by what buyers are going to offer us. Now, if the comparable sales data, meaning similar homes like yours, have sold in the last 6 to 12 months that support a higher price, there's a good chance buyers are going to compete and bid up to that range, right? So when pricing your home, don't price it to sit there, right? Price it to sell, price it correctly. Now, the next important step in this is presentation. Now, let's expand on what I mean by presentation. Now, a home needs to show well, right? It needs great curb appeal. It needs professional photos. It needs to be decluttered, maybe lightly staged or thinned out prior to taking photos and getting your marketing materials in motion. First impressions matter. I can't stress this enough. The more turnkey that a home looks, right, the more demand that's going to be driven by buyers. Now, again, if you want a custom home valuation and marketing plan for your property, make sure you're clicking the link in the description of this video, and I will personally send you a home valuation on your property specifically. Now, the third step in maximizing sale for your San Luis Obispo County home is marketing, right? Now, as we all know, or many of us watching may be discovering now, as a property owner in San Luis Obispo County, you know that, hey, some of your buyer audience are local, lifetime move up, move down buyers and sellers. Now, the other audience are relocations, right? A lot of folks come from out of town. Sometimes they make up 50% or more of our total buying audience in San Luis Obispo County. So with that being said, it is hypercritical that you are marketing through the appropriate channels. Now, YouTube is big, right? As you see, you're watching YouTube now, watching our video. Exposure through YouTube as well as Google is going to do a great job of not only capturing your local audience, right, but also that greater buyer audience coming from abroad, right, or outside of the marketplace. Super critical. Now, social media channels. Leveraging Facebook, Instagram, right? Running ads there. That's also a great way to make sure that you're hitting both of those audiences that are going to express interest in your home. The next topic, timing the market, right? Now, this is a question I get all the time from prospective buyers and sellers. Now, as far as a homeowner is concerned, Jay, hey, when's the best time of year to sell my home? Now, let me really boil this down because there's two schools of thought here. Now, again, the Central Coast, San Luis Obispo County in particular, right, is not hugely impacted by seasonality. Now, let me take a step back and unpack that for everyone. During fall and winter, a lot of homeowners, especially folks living in their home, may not want to, one, look at properties themselves, right, for replacement homes, but also show their home to prospective buyers during the holidays, right? Maybe they have a lot of family in town. They don't want people in and out of the house with Christmas presents out or whatever it may be, right? That's understandable. But know that during fall and winter, there's also less competing properties, right, on the market, because a lot of people have that mindset during the holidays, right, of not wanting to show their home during that season. So if you have been thinking of selling during fall and winter, know that you may have a slimmer audience of buyer, but also, much slimmer audience of competing homes on the market. So that might be a great time for you. Now, let's look on the flip side, right? Let's look at the spring, summer buying season. Now, is it typically busier than fall and winter? Most years, yes, that's the case. But think about that as well. When you are selling your home during spring and summer, there are also a lot of other prospective sellers that have that same mindset, right? So you do have a larger pool of buyers in the marketplace looking, but you also have an influx or uptick of competing homes on the market as well, right? So a few things to consider. Now, all in all, I don't want any seller stressing out about time of year. Now, why do I say that? Well, because again, a lot of our audience tends to come from outside of the marketplace. And also that audience tends to be slightly up in age and demographic versus other areas of California, right? Some of this audience is 55 plus. Many of them have adult children or relatively grown children, perhaps empty nesters, second home buyers. If you see where I'm driving with this, you understand that they're not really impacted by Christmas or Thanksgiving or school starting, right? They're going to be looking all year round. Now, the last metric of this, as far as maximizing sale price for your home, is negotiations, right? So, list price plays a role in things, but it's not going to be the end all be all, right? A lot of deals are made through the negotiations, right? Multiple offer situations, as well as terms that impact your exit strategy, as well as your final number, right? So keep in mind, negotiation plays a significant role into exactly what you're going to walk away with after you sell your home. Now, one thing I want to add to this whole process is lifestyle, right? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in certain price points, you are really leaning on comparable sales or loosely comparable sales, right? To figure out what is a fair sale price for your home, right? How to maximize a realistic sale price for your home and property.8However, as I've mentioned in previous videos, in San Luis Obispo County, we also have a lot of luxury properties, right? Or we have a lot of luxury / agriculturally mixed properties. Let's say you have a beautiful estate home with 10 acres of planted grapes, or perhaps you have a citrus grove or avocado orchard, right? Or olives or whatever it may be, right? Those elements in many instances can be very difficult to comp out, right? It can be very difficult to comp a luxury home if it's very unique. And so to that regard, there's a lifestyle pitch, right? It's a lifestyle sale. So make sure that your marketing, your presentation, everything is geared to that storytelling element, detailing the lifestyle pitch for your property, right? That's going to provide that degree of separation, get attention from buyers, and generate some offers for you on that home. Now, as always, if you would like a custom home valuation for your home and property, no matter how luxurious, special, unique it may be, make sure you're hitting the link in the description of this video, and I will personally create that report and send it to you. Now, gang, thank you as always for tuning in, and be sure to catch our next video.